Hey everybody, D-Dub here in New York City. This video is going to be a breakdown of Tommy Emmanuel's performance at the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville. If you want to find the video on YouTube, it's Tommy Emmanuel plays Chet Atkins Dark Eyes guitar. If you search for that term, you'll find it. I stumbled on this in my web wanderings sometime in the last year or two, and I thought it was such a beautiful piece that I really wanted to learn how to play it. So using a combination of mostly my ear and to a lesser extent my eyeballs, watching his fingerings, I was able to figure out what he's doing and how he does it. So if you are interested in learning how to play it, stick around and have fun, and as always, rock. All right, let's dive in. So in the very intro of the piece, there's this sort of ethereal part where he's pedaling a low E, and he's playing, this is an E major 7th chord, right? So there's your root, your 3rd, your 5th, your major 7th, and a 5th again. So that's an E major 7th chord. Then from there, he moves this finger up here and bars at the 5th fret. Basically plays a A minor chord with a 9 on top. But he keeps that E going in the bass. So that makes it an A minor 9th over E, I guess, if you want to give it a name. And then he goes back and forth between those two chords. Now the next section of the song is a 1-6-2-5 chord progression, which, if we're going to make it simple, cowboy chords, it would be but it's considerably more interesting and cool sounding than that, because he plays this. So what he's doing here is he's playing in, this is an E chord, E major 7th basically, with an added 9. So I guess you call it E major 9. So you've got, remember, if you can sing it, you can play it. So bum, bum. The G chord is, the G string is muted. Then you play an D sharp on the top, on the B string, and an open E. So that's your first chord. Second chord is this, which is a C sharp minor 9. And what he does on the top is he hammers on and then releases it. So the notes here are C sharp, which is the root, B, which is the 7th, D sharp, which is the 9, and F sharp, which is an 11. If it were a plain D minor, C sharp minor 9, to be this. But so that's the little spice, the little sauce. F sharp minor 7th. imagine you all know that one's a dead easy chord. Just bar across these 4 strings at the 2nd fret and then play the F sharp here, F sharp minor 7th, and then B sus. B sus to B 7th. We'll just pick it up right here. So it's an E sus chord, and I like to play just these 3 strings, the D, G, and B strings, which are right next to each other, to get this nice sus. If you can really hear the chord if you do this. And then just lower your index finger down to the D sharp. The thing I learned from watching this video is that you don't have to finger your E sus chord like this, which is usually how I would do it. You can crowd your fingers like that so that you can go. So you're going from an E sus chord, E, B, E, A, B, to a B7 chord. Alright, so what we got so far is this. Okay, part 1. Now, second time, everything's the same up until here. Now that's just an A note on the 7th fret of the D string and a B note. Which is an which is very close to a G sharp diminished, but we're not going to go there because it's not the same thing. Okay? Now, that's an and then here's the A flat or A flat minor 7 with a sharp 9. And now this. This is a D9 chord. There's your D, your 7th, your 9th, and then you've got a flat 5. So you can call it a D9 flat 5. I find it's easiest to grab this chord by barring 5 strings at the 4th fret and then playing the rest here. I'm sorry. So I'll play the notes one at a time so you can hear them, make sure you're getting it right. Root, 3rd, 7th, 9th, flat 5. Now, here's one of the more challenging moves of the piece. This move took me a fair amount of practice because it's a little tricky, it's a good stretch, and you got to work a number of notes in there to get it going smoothly, and it's this. So, I'm going to take it from the and now is a G and a D and a B and a B on the top, which is essentially a G triad, 1, 5, 3. So, third bar across the 3rd fret, play the D note on the 5th fret here, play the B note here, and then you just lower the top note a whole step. So the melody is, you're going to go play it like this, and then you slide your bar down to the 2nd fret. That was the part that I had to work on for a while, is because you got to sneak those 2 notes in really kind of quickly like this. I'll try to do it slow. So, following this bit, that's F sharp, C, F sharp. Open E on the top, and then bar straight across here, and just play the 5th, 3rd, and 1st strings, which will give you a B7 triad. You got B, A, F sharp, which is your 5, and you're just doing a quick hammer on that F sharp on top. I'm from F sharp to C. So the whole move, played slowly, is this. And then that sus again, which is that same move that I showed you earlier. Okay, so now we're back. We've played 1 cycle of the progression. So it does this, here's the whole thing. So it'll do that twice in a row. Then it goes into this part. So after that last, it goes, you just walk up to a C from an A. And you're gonna, now this is a pretty straightforward part, pretty easy to play, thank God. Just like a C chord, but just take off, lift these 2 fingers up off the fretboard and put them down. And then so think about if you were doing this, just sliding those up 2 frets, swapping fingers, keeping the C down there. So you're just doing, so C, F sharp, open G. So we got this. You got all those nice minor seconds ringing there, which always gives you that wonderful. That's the same, you know, the 9s and the seconds and the minor seconds are the same thing that gives this that wonderful wide open. Anyway, back out of the rabbit hole. So it repeats that. 5-1, right? G to C. Okay, now all this is low E open, A, and F sharp. So what that is you're going and then G, this is like a G in 2 notes. G and B. So this is a B minor 7 chord. Very straightforward. The only added decoration is that it's got an F sharp in the bass, which is the 5. So it's just this. So I'm going to assume that if you guys are trying to learn a piece of music like this, that you know how to play a B minor 7 and put an F sharp in the bass. And then slide your pinky up a whole step, and then play the intro part again, except this time don't play a major 7th like you did in the beginning. Play a straight E chord. And that is one cycle through the whole thing. So slide up and play an E chord, which is, and you're playing it with a low E ringing open, E, G sharp, which is the 3rd, B, which is the 5th, E, which is the root, G sharp, which is the 3rd, straight E major chord, and then back to A minor 9 over E. I forgot about that. One of those times when he hits that turnaround on the 5 chord, instead of doing a sus, he plays a B7 flat 9. He does this. And all that is play a B7 shape and then just hit the C note, which is a flat 9, with your index finger. So just do this. So one of those times, I forget which, I think it's the second time around, he goes okay, got that? And then another cycle. Now that last bit is something that I put in there. So if you want to learn, if you want to know how to play it, it's basically that same chord, but I'm doing artificial harmonics up here. So it's tricky to get that clean. It sounds really pretty. And then for that very last bit, I just play E. So you got E, B, F sharp, and G sharp, and I'm just playing this. Except I get faster as I go, so I start out like this. And there you have it. Feel free to shoot me any questions or comments, and if you like what you see, please subscribe. Ciao for now.